Before we step into this, I want to point something out, and that is this alloc1. So you can see one parameter is, or one value is passed to the function. Now if we jump in here, you can see there are 4 values or 4 parameters, and this is just something that happened during decompilation. You can fix something like this. I'm just going to omit this now because when I looked at this function, I was pretty sure what these parameters are. Just so you know, and don't get confused, why is there suddenly 4 parameters? So continuing on, one of the first things that I saw was this part right here. Now here is the .crypt extension, and from this context, as you can see, this is concatenated to this buffer here. I came to the conclusion that this must be the original file name, and then this .crypt extension is concatenated. Now here, this original file is opened in read mode, and then it is read. And here you can see this DearCry that is written, and this is going to be written to the file pointer for the to-be encrypted file. Here, this is actually opened, so this string that was put together up here with this .crypt extension is opened here, and that's where this file pointer comes from. So this DearCry is written to the encrypted file right away. Now when we continue on from here, we can see it gets a little bit messy. Here's a lot of stuff that I think is pretty ugly to read. So I didn't dig into this too far. I continued on, and eventually I came down here to this function. Here the encrypted file is closed, and I found this, which wasn't named del file before. I annotated this again, and here a pointer to the original file is passed in, and then this delete file is called. We can just annotate this and say file name here. So pretty much this is where the original file is deleted, and now only the encrypted file remains. Now for me, this is going to be the next step, digging into here, cleaning this up as good as I can, and just taking a look at the OpenSSL functions that are utilized here. But I am confident that this is the encryption part of the malware, and with that being said, I will just jump out here again to this main routine. So once the malware has encrypted all the files and returns from this walk files function, it assembles the ransom nodes in this readme.txt as we saw on the desktop in the dynamic analysis, and then just writes the ransom note. So I just want to quickly summarize what we have found out. So we found this MS update indicator, which is the name of the service that the malware executes and runs as, and also this hard-coded RSA public key. We saw no network communication, so no communication with a C2 server in the dynamic analysis, and we didn't find any indicators in the static analysis. So all the communication between attacker and victim seems to be going on via these email addresses in the ransom note. Now, other ransomware that I've taken a look at uses a C2 server, so this is a difference to that. And also we saw the file extensions that the malware targets, this .crypt extension that is added to the encrypted files, and the string DearCry ! That is written to file headers. Further, there was this Visual Studio 2008 string with a username included that we saw from the output of strings, and of course that OpenSSL is used for the crypto functionality of this ransomware. Now, To end this video, I just want to say I think the hope behind taking a closer look and digging into ransomware like this is to find some kind of an error or flaw on the malware author's part that can then be exploited to just get the data back to the victims without having to pay the ransom. And although it doesn't look that way at the moment, at least according to experts, that such a flaw may be found, I'm still hopeful that this might happen in the future. So on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.